Well, today is National Financial Freedom Day. In a time when things are getting more expensive, understanding how to best use the money you have is essential. So today we're joined by Tammy Trenta, the founder and CEO of Family Financial. Good morning to you.
Hey, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Well, and talk about that. Financial freedom for a lot of people sounds like a foreign thing. How do we start?
Well, the best way to start is at the end. I think everyone has an idea of where they want to be, what their goals are, where they envision themselves. And so if you can figure out what your end game is, it's easy to back into it.
All right, so with that said, I mean, everybody has a different idea of what that end game is, but we have to basically take into, I would assume, account what we spend and where we want to be, and then put a sum of that or put a portion of that aside.
Yes. And that will be different for everyone. Usually there are the essential needs, there are the wants, and then there is what I call paying yourself, and that is what you earmark for later on.
Okay, so again, start at the end, as you mentioned, pay yourself, and then coordinate advice. I guess implement a winning strategy, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I think what's important to be aware of is any advisor that you have, whether it is a CPA or an attorney or a financial advisor, everyone's going to have different context. And so the importance of the coordination is the financial advisor, if they're doing your planning, they're going to be the generalist, but you also want to communicate with the other members of the professional team so that you're all on the same page, because oftentimes you'll ask an advisor, you'll get one answer, you'll ask the accountant, you'll get a different answer, and you'll ask the lawyer and you'll get a different answer. So coordination of advice is really critical.
But the bottom line too is you want to save when you can and build that portfolio as quickly as you possibly can.
Yes. And a great rule of thumb is just to not even keep it in your bank account. Set up an electronic transfer into an investment account, create some automatic strategies where it goes into perhaps a mutual fund. And, if you're patient, you'll see that that starts to accelerate. It does take time, but it will happen.
And again, have everything lined up. The younger you are, the better. Even though it's
absolutely.
We talk to so many people that think, I don't need to do that until I'm, 40 or 50, whatever it may be. Start young.
Absolutely. I was one of those people who started off and saw the 401k that my company presented me, and I was 21 and thought, this is a terrible idea. I can't even touch this until I'm 60 years old. And so being knowledgeable and being your own financial advocate is important. And if you can't be your own financial advocate, then find somebody who can advocate for you.
Well, and I think that's so important because, as you mentioned, when you're 21, you need somebody to tell you, hey, that's free money. Take it.
Exactly.
All right. So for more information, where should we go? Do you have a website or any additional tips you can give our viewers?
So my website is familyfinancial.biz, B-I-Z. I can also be found on LinkedIn. Any other advice is the financial plan it's a plan B. When you start to accelerate results because you have a disciplined saving strategy, and now more than ever, when people are afraid or wanting to sell, I mean, this is, you almost have to do the opposite of what your emotions are telling you. Just remain disciplined, stick with your plan, and plan B will turn into plan A if you do things right, and that it will accelerate your results.
Well, it's a different type of thinking, something that we all need to keep in mind. And to your point, if we don't have that within ourselves, get somebody that does.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Have a great Friday, and we appreciate all of that advice.
Thanks, Dan.